Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey guys, welcome back. We're nearing this season 2 finale of Mad Men, getting close.
Yeah,
Three away.
three episodes left there. Things are not great in Don's marriage.
But
Things are
no,
not great at all.
no. I kind of feel bad for him because there was some mixed signals going on. Like
A
I
little.
don't feel like I feel like 1% bad for Don when it
She's
comes to his marriage because he has been awful. But they played house. She slept with him, and it's like, okay, we were just pretending. I'm like, pretending you hooked up with him.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, that's her right, I guess, because he cheated on her a
yeah,
lot.
no. I again, she is a sympathetic character this
Yeah.
season for sure in their marriage.
She said she felt like a fool.
Right.
Everybody knew what he was doing except for her.
Right.
And it is true. Everybody knows about Don. Everybody knows Don
Right.
is kind of a whore.
No, no,
And
yeah, Don's terrible. My only thing is, and a lot of people express this about Betty. It's like that's all fine, and if you're sure he's cheating on you, that's fine, and if you want to, that's fine. But do it. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah,
you're in this stasis right now where everybody, including your kids, don't know what's going on. And
yeah,
it's like, do you want a divorce? Do you want to get back together with him?
and that's
You
who's
can't just stay here with like I'm going to keep playing house in your house.
that's who's really suffering is the kids.
Right? Yeah,
The
they are.
kids, they don't know what's happening. I mean, it's a weird dynamic. I mean, even you have Glenn, who's. I think Betty sees Glenn and is like, man, I really don't want this for my kids. Also,
Right.
like, she has this weird
There's
kinship with Glenn
there's a
almost.
weird relationship there. It's not
No,
inappropriate,
no, no,
you
no,
know, and
no.
even though that's kind of what the mom
She
seems to be
like
getting at.
relates to him somehow.
Right, right. But it's just yeah. There's a weird like because she is definitely in that generation of women who were infantilized
Yeah.
by their husbands. Like you're going to stay home and play dollhouse.
But also, like, what is she gonna do? She can't
That's
just
her
leave him.
thing.
He's paying for the house. He's paying for everything. She leaves him, and the house gets sold. She takes that money, banks it, gets an apartment somewhere, and then she gets a job as a checkout girl or something. I don't
Well,
know.
I don't know what she does. I do think that
She's quite rich, though. I mean,
she's rich. Dawn's
yeah,
rich. I think like she's going to be fine. I think
yeah. It's not poor me.
I
It's
right.
yeah, yeah.
I think regular women have it much harder. Like Dawn would not let Betty, even if they got divorced, would not let Betty and her kids like live in poverty. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Don
yeah,
would
yeah.
not do that. He's a terrible guy, but that's a line he wouldn't have let cross.
In terms of a career, though, I don't think she has much of a chance.
Right? I don't know.
Is she educated? I think she
yeah.
is.
She went to college.
Okay.
She talked about
But
it.
even then, back in the
Right.
60s, there's not a whole lot of opportunity for women to have a career.
Right. Right.
Like,
Unless you like business, like Rachel
like
Lincoln.
Peggy. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Like, or Peggy. Peggy's kind of like a.
She's a unicorn.
She is a unicorn. Peggy's,
Yeah.
but also Peggy's got a drive and kind of a ruthlessness about her. So
Yeah.
Peggy's Peggy. She's different.
Peggy. Yeah. Peggy is where she is because Peggy has talent.
Yeah.
You know, Peggy.
Not to say that Betty doesn't have
Right.
talent, but
Right. We don't know what it is though.
Model. She was model.
Yeah,
For
she
a
was a
long time.
model, but
She's several years removed from that.
yeah, we dealt with that issue,
Yeah,
right? When
yeah.
she almost got back into model with Coca Cola, it was like they didn't really want you to model; they wanted Dawn.
They wanted done.
You were being you were a pawn in that game.
So really, the real dilemma is: does she suck it up and stay with Don, or does she kick his ass to the curb? Honestly, I mean, she probably deserves to divorce him, or he
No,
deserves to get divorced.
he deserves to get divorced. She deserves to be happy. Um, again, and like I said, I'm not like being a misogynist here. A lot of people have said, Betty's tough to love right now because she's not making the decision a decision. You know what I mean? She's just kind of she's
Conflicted housewife.
she's divorced or divorced. She's not divorced. She's depressed.
Yeah.
She's spending a lot of her time like having her kids off with the nanny while she kind of drinks and mopes a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's hard to watch.
It's
You
hard.
know what I mean? It's like, okay, let's, and we all pull for her to like, okay, do the next thing. And the fact that she's not is frustrating, I think, to watch is like, okay, you're not doing the next thing, whatever the next thing is.
Yeah.
Whether it's forgive
She has no
Dawn
idea.
and make Dawn work through whatever your issues are, or going off and living your own life. That she's not making that step to do it, and I think that's what's getting at people is like, okay, including me. It's like it's frustrating to be like, okay, what's next? What do you do now?
And I think that resonates because it's realistic. I mean,
Sure, it's
many
hard.
women have found themselves in that position today, and even back in the day. Today
More
was-
so, I think it's even more so in this position.
Yeah, I mean, there's
because the options are more limited.
plenty of opportunity today. Maybe not as much as there needs to be, but back in the day, it's a horrible situation to be in.
Yeah, you leave your husband and then what? What do you have?
Yeah.
Well, and again, and I feel less sorry for her than I would like a normal real person
because like I said, family's quite
because
wealthy.
her family's wealthy, her husband's wealthy. It's like, oh, poor me, I had to go be rich but not have my husband anymore because that's what it would be.
Well, look at the stigma behind the divorce back then.
Terrible, right?
And she'd be like one of the housewives that they're all talking about, and that's Nobody wants that.
And in the early '60s, I'm not even sure how common divorce was or what the mechanism was. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if in New York, it's state by state, but I think there were times you had to like go to California or Vegas or something, to get a divorce, or certain place, Hawaii, if you want to get a divorce, you can't just walk into your courthouse and be like, "Hey, we're done. Where's the paperwork?"
And that's the whole point of the show is it's kind of unromanticizing the '60s.
Right.
Everyone has such a great
Nostalgia
nostalgia
right,
for
yeah.
this time, greatest generation, all that. It's like, nah, not really.
Yeah, things are pretty terrible,
And that's
actually.
why I don't understand the criticism for season 2. It gives us so much conversation to have
Right.
about it, and even in the personal life. So, I mean, as much as we want to see more of The Office, this is compelling too.
Yeah, and we had some people on Patreon say they like season 2 a lot,
Oh,
and I do
yeah.
too. Yeah, it's like, well, these issues that we're dealing with, they're important issues. They're important for the characters. If you're going to move the story forward with these characters have to have a life, and sometimes a big chunk of that life happens outside the office. That's just how it's going to be.
That being said, I don't want to see every season like this,
Right.
but I enjoy it.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we've kind of gotten hints that it's not, including from the showrunner. Matthew Reiner was like, every season's not like this.
And that's the one thing about watching a show that's been on for years. It's people are going to be like, okay, yeah, this is
what
can't
I
wait
like.
for
This
this
is
to
what I
happen.
did. Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's like, gee, thanks, guys.
Yeah, right. So we definitely want more balance in the show, because I've enjoyed the second season, but it's less balanced between The Office and the home life than the first season was.
Yeah,
that's the thing. But I have not disliked any of it.
Jeez, what a great show!
It's amazing.
Offers so much food for thought.
Yeah, we're gonna welcome just a couple more Patreon subscribers, guys. So these are tough ones. Bueno, Coelho, and Angeli Agarwal. I'm sorry. Those I have no confidence I did that right, so I apologize, but thank you and welcome. We do sincerely appreciate your presence here. It really does help us out.
Nonetheless, we're very glad you guys are here.
Very much so.
For those of you guys checking us out on YouTube, welcome to the channel.
Hello and welcome.
If you guys don't mind, hit that like button for us. Leave us a comment down below. Who was your favorite character from Mad Men thus far?
We know there are more characters coming because we have 5 more seasons.
But yeah, let us know what you guys think of the show so far in the comments. If you guys are not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date and watch the next episode as soon as it drops.
Sure.
And down below, we have the link to our Patreon listed in the description. You can watch the full-length reaction over there, and we're doing many other shows on our Patreon page as well.
Inhaling the fragrance.
Is this Rogers? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The secretary.
This was a twist out of nowhere.
Him like hooking up with Don's secretary.
Leaving his wife for her.
Leaving his wife for her, right.
I don't like the idea of making you older.
Well, that's a doomed relationship.
I just meant...
Yeah, right?
It doesn't matter how old I am. Our souls are the same age.
You are 40 years younger than him, sweetie. At least 30 years younger than him.
Yeah.
Because I love you, Jay.
Oh, Roger. You love her?
Well, I mean, he did leave his wife for her. I hope so.
Because I've been thinking about this all the time. I want you to be my wife.
Whoa.
What?
We jumped the gun there. I guess you're rich enough to be this reckless. Yeah.
What do you do with your spare time?
I like concert. I like park.
You saw Bob Dylan at Carnegie Hall.
I heard him on the radio.
So we're not going to work at all.
It's like Ken is the one person trying to work here.
Oh, no, I don't want to impose if you have plans.
When you hit him, you will smile like this.
Peggy earned it.
Yeah.
Go out
and see Bob Dylan. Exactly.
Could you imagine going to see Bob Dylan in the 60s? That'd be so cool.
Right. I was wondering if they're going to show these guys actually out in California.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Forget Santa Monica. Take your list, target some of these guys, and make them feel special. Didn't Roger give you leads?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
He did? Come on.
You want to be on vacation, Pete? Because I can make that happen.
Oh, my God.
I agree that Don needs to lighten up a little bit, but no, they are there for business, and not there to fraternize.
Well, we'll see how much work Don does, though.
Yeah. Betty's there?
No, he's got to be imagining this. There's no way she's in California.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah. Just thinking about her.
That was her. Yeah, that was
That's
cool.
Doing that, yeah.
This is Dawn. She's been staring at you all day. Can't stop talking about you.
You look so comfortable alone by the pool all day. Now I wonder if you're waiting for someone.
I am.
I have a terrible memory for faces. Nice meeting you.
Yes.
Pleasure to meet you.
No one cares about you, Pete.
Yeah, right. Let's see if Don follows his own advice.
You notice how all three of them were staring at Don, man.
To look like John Hamm.
Yeah.
Maybe you and Mona could work out one of those modern arrangements.
George, stop.
Open
It is
marriage.
possible that you get tired of her. And then where will you be?
She's lucky I'm giving her anything.
She's the
And you know
money
what? We've been
the mother
miserable
of
for
the child.
years. I don't want to die with that woman.
Calm down. I didn't know that. If you want to be with this 20-year-old girl, you're going to have to buy it from her. And I have to warn you, women in this situation become extra irrational.
Oh my God.
Well, Doc Phillips, this is George Rotten. Actually, we know each other.
Handle his divorce too.
Probably, yeah. Best divorce lawyer in town.
Yeah, Roger and Duck's like, welcome to the club, buddy.
Yeah. There was a knowing smile that wasn't there. Like, been there.
Listen, we're coming up on 2 years together here.
Did you get me something?
A partnership. I think I've earned it.
Really? A partnership?
Right.
Don's not going to be cool with that. Don's a
Of
partner.
course, you might have to come in and be an advocate for yourself.
I'd be proud to present my accomplishments.
Good. Because I'm at a loss.
I was thinking the same thing.
Everyone thinks you're a fine fellow. But if I were you, I'd go out there and make rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding, man. You can't just coast. You got to deliver.
Yeah, he didn't do anything. And I was
Awesome.
like, yeah. Why am I not a partner? Because you haven't actually helped the firm at all.
He lost one of their biggest clients.
Space Technology Laboratories is leading a coordinated effort to create an invulnerable warhead. Multiple, independently targetable, re-entry vehicles. 14 different cities. 14 individual warheads, each with 10 times the payload of Nagasaki. Due to the decrease in infrastructure and population.
This is not a cheerful message. No. Don seems appropriately uneasy at this.
She is gorgeous. So
Yeah, she is quite lovely. That's the whole point, right? He's in California and the temptation is going to be big.
Yeah, staring right into his soul.
Yeah.
You should come with me.
I don't know about that.
Why would you deny yourself something you want?
Oh, she is forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pete's gonna come back and be like, "What the heck?"
Yeah. He's
Pete,
just going to disappear.
Yeah. Pete, go swimming. You going to Palm
Right?
Springs?
Yeah.
Why don't we give it a few more minutes?
Oh my
Enjoy
God.
the scenery?
Damn, Don.
Don.
Order some drinks. I think Don needed to make a phone call.
Oh, that was really unprofessional.
So unprofessional.
You're white as a sheet.
Nope.
Yes, let's let the guy with the beard inject me with something.
Yeah, the random guy. Just grab whatever needle you can find.
Klaus is a doctor.
No, it's okay. I just need some water and some aspirin.
Good call, Don.
Yeah.
What are you all doing here?
There's an open door policy.
Oh, they're hippies.
You should rest
Yeah.
up for dinner. Have you ever had Mexican food?
Just very, very rich hippies.
You're gonna like it.
Applauding him. Yay,
Look
Don's
at you
alive.
up and around.
Yeah.
You'll never meet a group of people more interested in professions, and yet there's not one of us here who has one.
So they're just rich people that just
Rich
that's
hippies.
what they do. Yeah.
Osaka.
Auckland. Dunkirk.
Kabul.
She just couldn't help herself, could she?
Yeah,
She couldn't even get through dinner.
It's like, just let him do the thing. Just keep eating.
I haven't eaten my peppers yet.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Here's the whole reason he came there.
He wouldn't have gotten in the car otherwise. How does he explain this to Pete later is my question.
Pete, I was kidnapped.
I mean, really? He just disappeared for like all day and probably overnight.
They abducted me and took me to Palm Springs, and they did things to me, Pete.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it.
Sorry, Pete. I had heat exhaustion and ended up in Palm Springs.
Where are you two going?
To the Bob Dylan.
To the Bob Dylan.
Isn't that interesting?
Peggy and Kurt in the village, oh my.
What is with this? You think Peggy and I?
We do.
I'm homosexual.
So that's what I thought. I thought they established that already.
I know he's foreign. I don't know if that's going to play well in the office then. I mean...
What are they going to do about it? You know what I mean?
You can be
fired
fired for that.
I think if it came up with Bert, probably, but I don't think with these guys it's going to mean anything.
I knew queers existed. I just don't want to work with them.
What?
Oh my God.
He's the first homo you ever met in advertising?
Certainly not.
No, that's the
makes
point,
Sal
right?
feel horrible.
Is it good?
Sex is good.
This book is just okay. Papa, Nitish Pa.
You are a brat.
But her dad.
I was just wondering the same thing.
I make beautiful babies, don't I?
Did they establish that before, or is this
I'll see
new?
you
Like, did
outside.
Don know? Because I didn't know that.
I know that, yeah.
You're not drinking. What's this about?
Yeah, you are. He's going to start
I
drinking,
keep
isn't
thinking
he?
how I miss doing things your way.
It's not a good time.
Oh, he's trying to fight. He's trying to jump ship.
I'm not going to take no for an answer.
I wouldn't expect you to.
To our noble profession.
Chin-chin.
Look, I'm not an alcoholic, so I don't...
Yeah, you can't do it. What?
There you go.
Yeah.
What if I were to bring you every account of Sterling Cooper?
Whoa.
Fully serviced and completely satisfied.
So screwed up.
What are you talking about? I didn't know it was for sale.
Roger Sterling has a 20-year-old fiancée, and his wife's lawyer's not going to leave him a pot to piss in.
2%.
I want to be in charge of all international business, and I have to be president. Creative reports to me or the whole thing falls apart.
Oh, he wants to be Don's boss.
I don't know why I picked the wrong boys.
You're drinking sad.
Yeah, yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
This is not modern office working woman.
What are you talking about?
You need a makeover.
I'll fix you.
Yeah, exactly. It would be cool if she came out looking stylish.
Like a pretty woman montage.
He's just taking the whole thing off.
Wow. Don, I'd be hightailing it out of there.
Yeah, like, this is too weird for
It's
me,
time to
man.
go.
Yeah. You know, different
What
strokes
is
for
it like
different
for
strokes,
tea?
but man.
Nassau. You'll need a tuxedo.
Will I?
Don,
Need
you
a
can't
passport.
go to the Bahamas with this girl.
Oh, they want him to leave the country now?
Yeah.
I'm not possessive. You can be with anyone you want.
So she's the anti-Betty.
Yeah.
And that's the allure here.
This is so weird.
Yeah, it is.
You gave away our room. Looks like someone doesn't want to sleep.
I don't feel like you read that right, Joy. Do you think he's figuring out he doesn't know what he's doing?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's, seeing that single man with his kids, he's like, oh, so,
Right.
that's me.
So there's a real world beyond this fantasy?
So how was it?
Spectacular business-wise, but I don't know that I'd want to live there. Here, this is for everybody. I'm glad to be home. Has Don checked in? Is he here?
No, I don't think so.
He's still in California. Wow. Wow.
They love the idea of just sticking a key in the door at Sterling Cooper.
Really? Is this as solid as American Airlines?
On the table will be mountains of money, international prestige, a chance at going public, and we don't have to change our name.
That seems a little too good to be true.
5 days to make an offer.
Or you can give me a price and I'll pass it on.
No. Let them open the kimono.
Okay, yeah, so Don's screwing himself.
Don's not there for this whole takeover.
You're an idiot, Don.
Yeah.
You're an idiot. We always talk about how good of a businessman you are, but here you are at Palm Springs.
Right. You should be back at work. Instead, you're off trying to live this bohemian
Want to
lifestyle.
lecture Pete about how it's not a vacation.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Pete couldn't take his swim.
Don's such a hypocrite.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I'd love to see you. Soon.
Wow. Somebody knows him as Dick Whitman that he's going to go see.
That's just the last page of the book.
I don't know what The Sound of the Fury is about, but obviously the line's from Macbeth. The line about life, you know.
Yeah.
It's a tale told by the whole Sound of Fury signifying nothing. I'm kind of curious I'm going to have to look up what The Sound of the Fury is.
Who's the author again?
William Faulkner. I just never read it, yeah. I read a book of his. The one where they're... I can't believe I'm spacing on the name. Where they transfer the dead mom to bury her in the South. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Ah!
As I Lay Dying.
That's it. As I Lay Dying. That's it.
1930. Wow.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, that was going to bother me for a while. That's the one. That's the one Faulkner I've read. So yeah, I will look up later what the Sound of the Fury is actually about.
I've definitely heard of it.
Right.
I want to know how it relates.
That's why I'm going to look it up. I want to know how it relates to what we
the
just
show.
watched. Absolutely.
Yeah, that line specifically is probably like the underlying theme. You know
absolutely.
what I mean? Like, what is life all about? And Don's going through it existentially for sure.
Yeah, I want to know who's on the end of that phone call. That's the most intriguing thing to me is he's going to go see somebody, and they know that he is not Don Draper. Whoever he was talking to knows that he is Dick Whitman.
Yeah.
And that's fascinating to me.
He doesn't have a sister. All he had was his brother who's passed.
Right. Everyone in his family, it had to be someone he knew growing up.
Yeah.
Who is like someone that's cool with him being Don Draper now, and someone that he's cool knowing about it.
It was a very casual conversation.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like, oh, how are you? It was
right, yeah. It was like, hey, I'm here. Can I come see you?
Yeah.
So it's got to be someone close.
Yeah. Like,
So-
it's probably a friend, not really a...
Yeah, like I said,
a
it's
relative
got
of
it's
some
got to
sort.
be somebody that he doesn't mind still having some kind of relationship with, who knows that he is not Don Draper.
Yeah.
Which is very fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
because with Adam, it felt very much like he cut that part of his life off completely and wanted nothing to do
Adam
with
thought he
it.
was dead.
Right, exactly. When he's met him, he's like, "Forget about me. Here's $5,000. I'm not your brother. Your brother's dead." Like he really just wanted to cut his whole past off. Except there's one person he's letting in still.
Yeah. There's something surrealistic about this episode, too. Just the whole Palm Springs thing. There's something
It was
very
weird,
off,
right?
Very
But-
off about
well,
it.
him just hanging out with those, because he's like at this existential point where he doesn't know what his life is,
Yeah.
or where it's going, and then he has these people who have no clue or care where their lives are going.
No, and it's interesting to think that you had the episode in season 1 where he was hanging out with the Beatniks.
Right.
And
this is the same thing, just
same
richer.
thing. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of shows how superficial and kind of how full of it he really is. Because, yeah, like the line in the first season when he's with the Beatniks and they're in the apartment, he's like, I can walk out there, you can't.
Right, yeah, that was a really great moment.
Well, he sees now, like, oh, you can do this and still be wealthy.
And they can do whatever they want,
They
yeah.
do whatever they want. They're talking about leaving the country.
It's like, nah, we're just going to go, what do you do for a living? Nah, we don't. Are you well off? Don't ask us about that. They're just rich, ne'er-do-well pool dwellers. Don't get me wrong.
Look, if I could do that,
sure,
that's the life, right?
A lot of people would.
That's the life. A lot of people do that,
There are people who...
Well, speaking of Succession, a lot of them on there, like Connor on Succession.
Yeah, exactly.
No, there you go.
There are people who, when they reach a financial and age point, live on cruise ships. You know what I mean? That's their residence or whatever cruise ship they're on. They have morgues on cruise ships for old people who just live on cruise ships.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
That's so weird.
Because some people, you get rich and you don't want to be tethered anywhere, and you like the cruise lifestyle, and you just get on the boats.
They're retired,
right?
Yeah, Don's like he's 36.
Well, I mean, the one girl's 21 and she's that rich. You know?
Yeah. That's.
It's more about the money than the age.
I don't know what his end game is right now. I don't
Right.
think he knows what his end game is, but clearly he's going through it. I want to see what the ramifications are of him taking a break from work.
I mean, he's going to go back, right?
He's got to go back because
Right.
when he goes back, he's like, "Hey, Duck's a partner."
Right. So here's all that's happening. Where the hell have you been? I think would be the conversation.
Yeah. Are they going to buy Sterling Cooper?
I think so. I think it's going to get bought out, or why have that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Sterling Cooper's about to have new bosses.
And so, yeah, let's see how Don reacts to that. Duck being his boss now.
They said he wouldn't have to change the name. They were just going to get bought out at a 51% share. So I'm assuming then that Don and Roger and Bert are still going to be partners.
Yeah.
They're just going to have a smaller controlling interest, whereas these guys buying in are going to have a bigger share of the company.
But will Duck be in charge then? Because Duck might.
That's the big thing, right?
Yeah.
Duck's demand was that he gets to be president. And I don't see it sitting well with Duck being Don's boss.
And
because Don does not respect him.
Would that make him Roger and Bert's boss too then?
No, because he's a partner.
Gotcha.
The partners, the owners of the company, will still be over the president.
But he will be.
But he will be Don's boss. Well, Don's a partner too.
Yeah.
But he
12.5% or something. Is what
yeah, Don, he wouldn't really be Don's boss, but he did say I'd be president and I would have final say over creative, meaning that he would get to tell Don what to do when it comes to the creative department. And that will not go well.
It's interesting that now that Duck is back on the sauce, now he's got...
He's scheming and
he's
awful.
He's got more swag.
Yeah.
He's getting things done. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. So Don, as a partner, Don's job is safe, right? I mean, I don't know if they can fire him as creative director and he can still be partner or whatever.
Yeah.
But he did make a point of saying, I want control of creative. He did make a point of saying the deal is I get to boss Don around.
Yeah. And
he's being petty.
And for that matter, if I was Campbell, if I was Pete, I'd be a little irritated.
I'd be super irritated with Don.
I'd be very... And so, like, he's not... I mean, Don's going to put himself in a corner now. And so, yeah, Pete's going to be on Duck's side. I think that they're all going to be on Duck's side, and we're really setting it up Don versus them.
Oh, I think so.
We've said that since the beginning of season 2 that we thought this season was going to be Duck versus Don.
Yeah, it hasn't really come to fruition
that.
yet, but I think it's going to still.
It's got to now.
Now Duck's forcing the issue.
Maybe that's more of a season 3 thing then.
It might be, because we only have 2 episodes left.
Yeah.
Maybe they get bought out and we start season 3 as a new company.
Or maybe, Maybe they don't. Maybe Duck does screw the pooch, and that's the end of Duck. I don't think
that's true. I don't think so either, but Duck could just blow this whole thing up and be out on the streets.
Could be.
Yeah, because I don't have any faith in Duck at all, really.
That guy's the worst.
When
he is the worst.
After he really blew that thing with the airline companies and really, really pissed off doing that, I feel like I'm not sure that Duck is quite the guy everybody thinks he is. Even Roger called him out for like, well, you gonna do any of this great stuff before we make you a partner?
He's kind of like a fake nice guy.
Yeah,
like
he's
got
a lot of talk.
Facade.
Yeah, you're right. He's a lot of talk without a whole lot to show for it.
He's kind of a monster.
Yeah,
a little bit.
We'll see. I now that he's drinking again, I see things starting a downward spiral for him as well.
Maybe he'll pee himself like Remsen did.
Yeah, exactly. Fired. All right, guys, we'll catch you on the next one.
See ya.